Types of problems and problem solving strategy in school and everyday life. We have to solve problems, a wide variety of problems in school. These problems might be how to complete an algebraic equation or remember the order of US presidents in everyday life. Problems might be how to maintain a long distance relationships or how to pay bills on a limited income. Either way, in order to be successful, we must have the ability to solve different kind of problems using different type of solution strategies. Problem solving is the application of ideas, skills, or factual information to achieve the solution to a problem or to reach a desired outcome. Let's talk about different types of problems and different types of solutions. Educational psychology has broken down problems into two different ways. The first way is to make a distinction between well defined and poorly defined problems. A well defined problem is one that has a clear goal or solution, and problem solving strategies are easily developed. In contrast, a poorly defined problem is the opposite. It is the one that is unclear, abstract, or confusing, and that does not have a clear problem solving strategy. For example, imagine you're in school. If your teacher gives you a quiz and then asks you to list the first 10 US presidents in order and name one important historical fact about each, that you could have a well defined problem. The instruction and expected outcome is clear, and you can use a simple memory recall strategy to come up with the correct answer. However, if your teacher gives you a quiz that instead asks you to think about some history, then draw a picture and be sure to wash your hands, you are not really sure what to do. What does the teacher expect of you? This is a poorly defined problem because you don't know how to reach a solution or answer. The second way is that the educational psychology has broken down different types of problems by making a distinction between routine and non-routine problems. Just like the name indicates, a routine problem is the one that typically and has a simple solution. In contrast, a non-routine problem is more abstract or subjective and requires a strategy to solve. Routine problems are the that most problems do in school. Memorize the simple fact, how to do addition, subtraction, and how to spell words, and so on. However, in more advanced years and in more advanced subjects in school, teachers might present students with non-routine problems that require critical thinking skills and subjective solutions. For example, ethics in social issues such as death penalty or role of civil right laws and themes of famous literature might be considered non-routine problems. Non-routine problems requires more complicated and creative solving strategies. Let's talk about problem solving strategy and now go over several possible options depending on the type of problems. You have a lot of options regarding possible solution strategy. In this lesson, let's talk about solutions that are common strategies for well-defined or routine problems. The first strategy you might try when solving a routine problem is called an algorithm. Algorithms are step-by-step strategies or processes for how to solve a problem or achieve a goal. The most common example you might think of using algorithm might be in maths class. When presented by an algebraic equation, you might have learned about how to solve for x using certain well-defined steps, but algorithm can be used in other subjects as well. For example, you have learned about how to take apart a car engine and clean it. When you want to approach this problem using a set of steps, make sure that you don't misplace or mix up the other parts. Another solution that many people use while solving problem is heuristics. Heuristics is a general strategy used to make a quick shortcut solution to problems that sometimes lead to solution, but sometimes leads to errors. Heuristics are sometimes referred to as mental shortcuts, and we often form them based on past experiences. You have probably used heuristics at all times in your daily life, maybe without knowledge what they are called. For example, when you go to store to buy a product, there you probably have several options on a shelf when trying to decide the quality of different choices. Many people use heuristics rule. You get to pay for meaning more expensive items may be of higher quality. While this may be true, in many cases it's not necessarily true. So using the strategy does make a quick decision but could backfire. For example, heuristics is shorter lines will move faster. Once you select the item you want to purchase in the store, you head over to the cash register, you pick the line with the fewest number of people, assuming it will move faster. While normally the strategy would work, you might get behind someone who needs to do a price check, or a cashier who is new to the job does not know how to use the register. So in summary, heuristics are a common problem solving strategy for everyday life types of problem, and usually they lead to good decisions, but they can sometimes lead to mistakes. A third type of problem solving that you might have used in the past is to use graphic representation. Graphic representation are visual based illustrations of a problem that might lead to clarification of a problem or creative solutions. For example, of graphic representations are flowcharts, diagrams, and other outlines or mind maps. With any of these options, you can draw the problem out, and this might help. You might see the problem in a new way. Let's talk, for example, one or more problem solving strategy that comes from educational psychology. This is the final strategy called the ideal strategy. The ideal is an acronym meaning each letter stands for one idea. This strategy includes 5 steps, each corresponding to one letter. IET stands for identify. The first step is the ideal strategy. You might identify what problem is as clearly as possible. D stands for define. There we define what the possible final goal might be. Next, E stands for explore. This is the step where you want to explore the possible ways to reach a solution or goal. You could use other strategies we have discussed here, such as graphic representation, heuristics, or brainstorming. The fourth letter is A. A stands for anticipate. This is the step you look forward to possible outcomes of different solutions you have created and try to see which solution will work the best. And then you choose one of the solutions and act on it. While A ideally stands for anticipate and not act, you might remember that A could include both anticipate and action if it is helpful. The final step is ideal solution of L stands for look. While you choose one option and acted on it, you might look back and learn what you did. So again, you could think of L as standing for both look and learning. Did your solution lead to a positive outcome? If not, go back to the beginning and try to find a different solution. While the ideal solution might be complicated with many steps to it, it's actually a fairly intuitive way to solve problems. You identify the problem, define what you want to achieve, explore the possible solutions, pick one, and see what happens. Most of us use this strategy when solving a problem. We might not be able to label it in the ideal name. In summary, problem solving is the application of ideas, skills, or factual information to achieve the solution to a problem or to reach a desired outcome. Before we solve a problem, we should know what kind of problem it is. And there are well-defined problems, poorly defined problems, as well as routine and non-routine problems. There are many possible problem-solving solutions or strategies. This lesson covers algorithm, heuristics, and graphical representation.